The goal of Crush is to gather as many resources as possible from the center of this asteroid field and bring them back to your base. That's basically it. Except, people can steal your resources after you bring them back. So it's kind of similar to Diddy Kong Racing, if any of you have played that, with the level in which you go and grab dinosaur eggs and kind of bring them back and people can steal them. We're basically doing that, but in space. All right. Yeah. So yeah, Adrian's got some backstory for you if you want to.
All right, to kind of position you guys. The world of Crush takes place in the near-far future, or the far future, I should say, in which the government has put regulations and sanctions on any and all asteroid fields containing useful resources. So the result is that we're taking normal tools like tractor beams used for mining and weaponizing them. So in this particular asteroid field, we have four entities. We have the blue team, Operation Odin, which is a paramilitary group. We have the red group here, which is the Sector 7 Pirates. The orange, which is the Deep Space Mining Corporation. And last but not least, the yellow, which is the Black Sun cartel. And so if we're gonna get a couple people from the audience to play, who would like to try our game? Who's brave enough? In the jacket on the second by the bar, and in the very back middle with the glasses. Yeah. All right, cool. So the game's going to start, and in the center of the battlefield, there's an extraction module on a center asteroid, and it's going to spawn two resources, which the players are going to immediately start dogfighting over. So we'll see what they go for. When you guys are ready.
Eventually. Everybody has to press start. All right, here we go. So the extractor where you get all of your resources from are in the middle. It's in the middle of this giant asteroid field filled with a bunch of asteroids, basically. We have a lot of power-ups in this game that will eventually kind of thin out these asteroids once the game progresses.
So whenever someone's carrying a resource, you can tractor beam on them to actually try to steal a resource away. And at that point, it's kind of a button mashing competition, trying to hit with as many buttons as possible to fight for the resource.
So if you guys can't hear us, let us know too, because I know it's been kind of a problem recently. But, oh gosh.
So anytime you see one of those icons turn green, it's a way of telling the player that they're carrying a resource and kind of who you can go after. In addition, at some point, you might see some stealing from the actual motherships. Once they've picked up a resource, there's the blast power-up. So that's going to kind of thin up the asteroids, and it makes everyone in the vicinity actually have to drop their resources.
And our driver, Tyler, just picked up a shield power-up right now. And what the shield will do is it will prevent anybody from locking onto you with their tractor beams, which you can use to steal resources from other players, like he just did right now. And it'll also prevent you from, from running into, from getting pushed around from other asteroids, basically. So I think his goal is to grab a resource and bring it back to his base, and then, on his way back to his base, pop the shield. Maybe. Maybe not. He's just gonna go for it. So a lot of the gameplay with this, as far as how you want to win, is you don't necessarily want to get too far ahead at the beginning because people will just steal all of your resources. So it's kind of a balance that you have to play. How far ahead do you want to get to not draw attention to yourself, and how much do you want to win, right? How close do you want to thread the needle, per se?
So as we can see, Tyler had a strong start, but that kind of drew the attention of the other players, and he's back down to 0. But now, poor yellow right here is starting to build up, and everyone's noticing that. Right now we have a battle as Tyler's trying to retrieve this resource, and he probably has someone close behind. There they are, and they're going to try to snag it back.
So if you notice when someone locks onto you, like you have a little exclamation point that flashes on screen. This is basically just a notification being like, hey, you know, someone's locked onto you. You should be smashing the X button so that you can disable their tractor beam. All right, there we go. Tyler finally used his shield there. So when you have the shield, you can run into asteroids and not really be affected by them at all. And nobody can lock onto you or anything like that with their tractor beams. Another thing with the tractor beam too is it pulls you. Okay, so you have a pull and you have a push tractor beam, which should have been mentioned earlier. But when you pull something that's larger than you, you will be pulled towards it. So all of our physics is being done in a fairly realistic manner. We have a little bit of fiddling with some stuff to make it play well, basically. There we go. And he just uses tractor beam to break, or excuse me, he just used his power up to break the lock of another player's tractor beam.
So right here, Tyler's trying out something that players who have played it for a while have discovered, is that there are very precise ways in which you can actually carry two. And if you lock onto one with your tractor beam while you're carrying the other, it's really dangerous because if anyone runs into you in tractor beams, you're going to lose both. So that was pretty brave of him.
So it looks like we have player 2 with a slight lead right now, and we have about 20 seconds left. So I don't know what our players are going to do to prevent maybe player 2 from winning. Oh. Well, it's going to be close either way. Uh-oh. Looks like player 3 might take it. Oh, man.
So I think they want a rematch, but that's kind of like the goal of the game. You guys can restart a new one. And we kind of wanted to encourage this dog-eat-dog world where it's, okay, everyone gang up on this guy and take turns on that.